as long as I have the governor's support, I will not resign.
Richard Murray acknowledged his union background and his pro-union opinions, but he told NBC4 he takes issue with the most damning findings of the Inspector General's report, saying he's acted in the best interest of schools.
To the charges of abuse of authority and attempt to strong-arm, those I reject.
Are you doing enough to shield your own personal opinion from your work? Are you doing enough to stay neutral?
Well, I understand that there is that perception out there. And the question always is, what's reality versus what's perception? If there is perception that I am union only, then I think I need to work on that, because I don't believe that represents my conduct here over the last 11 months.
This is a guy who is trying to steer work to his former union employers.
Lobbyist Brian Williams has called for Murray's resignation. He points to what the Inspector General called an astonishing indication of divided loyalties. In January, Murray asked the Ohio Ethics Commission if he could get paid to consult for his former employer, a trade association promoting union projects. Murray later withdrew the question before the Ethics Commission could answer.
He's been entirely one-sided, and the effect is the taxpayers get ripped off. They end up building buildings for a lot more money than they would have otherwise had to build them for.
If I love unions to an absolute, I don't know how I change that, because the bidding goes on at the local level, and the low bidder is awarded the job. I can't affect who the low bidder is.
But the first example that jumps into my head to the contrary would be the Ohio Schools for the Blind and the Deaf. You can't affect that, and you did, in choosing the project labor agreement.
Well, that's a different approach than the low bidder approach.
But in that situation, you were able to implement a project labor agreement that clearly the unions want, that the non-unions don't want.
In that instance, in consultation with the schools and in consultation with members of my commission, I entered into a project labor agreement for that project, yes.